Bowen Yang has never been afraid to push buttons. From his instantly iconic SNL debut as the flamboyant iceberg that sank the Titanic, to unforgettable characters like Chen Biao, the overly earnest trade representative, Yang's comedy has always lived in that electric space where satire, absurdity, and cultural commentary collide. But as it turns out, even Yang, one of Saturday Night Live's most fearless performers, had a moment where the comedy went a step too far. In a candid new interview, Yang revealed that his final ever SNL sketch had to be changed at the last minute because one joke got to be too much. The admission surprised fans who have come to expect Yang to gleefully toe the line, if not leap over it entirely. Yet the revelation also offers a fascinating look at how SNL balances provocation, taste, and timing, especially when it comes to a cast member's farewell. A farewell with unexpected limits. Yang didn't specify every detail of the original version of the sketch, but he made it clear that the issue wasn't network panic or outside backlash. Instead, the change came from inside the SNL ecosystem itself, a rare moment of self-editing driven by creative instinct rather than censorship. There was a point where it just felt like too much, Yang explained. Not in a fun, transgressive way. Just a lot. For a performer whose entire brand has been built on maximalism, loud costumes, bold accents, unapologetic queerness, that distinction matters. Yang has always understood that comedy isn't just about shock value, it's about precision. And sometimes, knowing when to pull back is just as important as knowing when to go all in. The anatomy of an SNL rewrite. Rewrites are nothing new at SNL. Sketches change constantly, sometimes minutes before airtime. But final sketches, especially those tied to cast goodbyes, are often treated with extra care. They're meant to encapsulate a performer's voice, honor their contributions, and still land with a live audience that expects laughs, not controversy overload. In Yang's case, the original version reportedly leaned heavily into heightened satire that, while hilarious on paper, risked overshadowing the emotional weight of his departure. Rather than ending his run on a note of joyful absurdity, the sketch threatened to become a distraction. The solution: trim the excess. Focus the joke. Let the character breathe. It wasn't about sanitizing it, Yang clarified. It was about making it land. Bowen Yang's legacy of pushing boundaries. What makes this revelation especially compelling is how rare it is for Yang to not push things to their extreme. Since joining SNL in 2019, he has been a cultural force, one of the first openly gay Asian American cast members, and a writer-performer whose humor consistently challenged the show to evolve. Yang brought internet-era sensibilities to Studio 8H, blending meme logic with classic sketch comedy. He wasn't afraid to play characters that were annoying, messy, or deeply unserious, often all at once. And he did it while carving out space for voices that had historically been sidelined on the show. That's why the idea of something being too much feels so significant. It suggests not a retreat, but a refinement, a performer confident enough in his voice to know when restraint is the sharper tool. A personal goodbye, not just a punchline. Yang has hinted that his final SNL appearance was emotional behind the scenes. After years of late nights, frantic rewrites, and live TV adrenaline, leaving the show marked the end of an era, not just professionally but personally. In that context, the decision to change the sketch takes on new meaning. This wasn't about fear, it was about intention. I wanted it to feel like me, Yang said. Not just the loudest version of me. For longtime fans, that sentiment rings true. Yang's best work has never been about sheer volume, it's been about specificity. Whether he was parodying political figures, pop culture trends, or the contradictions of modern identity, his comedy always came from a deeply personal place. What's next for Bowen Yang? While his SNL chapter may be closing, Yang's career is anything but slowing down. Between film roles, voice acting, writing projects, and his wildly popular podcast Las Culturistas, he's already proven that his comedic reach extends far beyond Studio 8H. If anything, this final SNL rewrite signals a new phase, one where Yang has full control over tone, scale, and message. No time limits, no dress rehearsal cuts, no last-minute network notes. Just Bowen Yang, fully unleashed, but always intentional. The perfect ending. In the end, the fact that Yang's last sketch had to be changed doesn't diminish his legacy, it enhances it. It shows a performer who understands that comedy is not just about pushing limits, but about choosing which limits are worth pushing. And for Bowen Yang, knowing when something got to be too much may be the clearest sign yet of just how far he's come.